What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're gonna react to the luckiest people who survived the Impossible Part 7. Now, if you want to watch the other parts, they'll be up here on the time cards. And but yeah, before we get into it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. And yeah, let's get straight into the video here. All right.
Have you ever had something weirdly lucky happen to you? Maybe you found $20 lying on the ground, or maybe you were just in the right place at the right time.
Bro.
Well, amazing as that is, there are some people out there who have survived against near impossible odds and lived to tell the tale.
Elevator.
From a woman who spent 80 minutes trapped in freezing water to a soldier who fell over 4 miles without a parachute.
Yeah, so oh my god, I sound like a broken record. She's gonna win this video. How do you beat someone falling 4 miles from the ground with no parachute? Tell me how. How you gonna beat that? You can't, bro. The last video, someone fell, like going 80 miles per hour, hit the ground, and the only reason why she lived is because she landed on an ant pile, and they bit her, and that's how she lived. I'm not going into it because a lot of science behind it, but like, crazy, bro. I'm sorry, but
let's look at even more of the luckiest people who survived the impossible.
Because at the end of the video, we see which one had the craziest one, the craziest, luckiest thing they survived.
Saved by smartphone.
And obviously the one falling that far.
People are always complaining that we're too hooked on our smartphones for our own good. But there's one Ukrainian soldier who would heavily disagree. While engaged in the front lines of combat, the soldier's squad came under heavy enemy fire, and one of the bullets found its target. Fearing the worst, the soldier hit the deck and investigated his injury. But instead of a deadly wound, he found this.
What kind of phone is that?
The bullet had shot straight into his phone instead. Unbelievably, the phone, with the help of a metal dog tag, absorbed the full impact from the 7.62 millimeter.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the phone probably didn't do like any of that. It was the dog tag that did all of that. Because bro, the phone wouldn't have the bullet would go straight through the phone. The dog tag probably really saved you there.
Bullet and blocked it completely. Jeez.
I
hope this guy's phone insurance is as good as his luck.
Bro.
Sky High Sports.
Huh?
Back in the 1920s, health and safety wasn't quite as stringent as it is now. So, stunt women like Gladys Roy got away with performing all kinds of dangerous tricks. You know, like changing the tire of a biplane while it was in mid-flight.
What are we doing?
Man, it's lucky enough she didn't fall to her doom then.
That's insane.
But Gladys actually secured her fame with an even more death-defying stunt. Along with fellow stuntwoman Yvonne Unger, she climbed atop the wings of a biplane, waited until it was over half a mile in the air, and then started playing a game of tennis.
What?
Yeah, you heard that right. Technically, it wasn't a proper game of tennis. It's pretty impossible to hit a ball to someone while you're traveling through the air at 80 miles per hour, and the duo's legs were strapped to the plane, so they couldn't just slide off. But considering they'd left the aircraft on a basic autopilot, a strong bout of turbulence could have sent the plane plummeting to its doom. Amazingly, though, both survived without a scratch, and went on to do it many more times.
But like, what are you playing with right here that would even let the ball go to the other person? How is that even possible? Like, what? What were you using?
There's a whole new meaning to the phrase Mile High Club, doesn't it? I can think of one thing that's far less risky than standing on a plane, though. Hitting those like and subscribe.
Alright, bro. Hey, yeah, like and subscribe, but I don't want to hear that. I'm not gonna lie though, that one was like, yeah, they were lucky they didn't fall off, but like they didn't really like, none of them like almost went off the plane, or like it didn't almost crash. Like they were just doing something stupid and it lucked out for them. That wasn't lucky. I mean, it was lucky, but they didn't have anything scary happen to them, you know? So I just like,
Meteor madness.
What are we doing?
Everybody's been woken up at some point by a bump in the night. As scary as it can be, though, it's usually something small, like a door slamming or your cat knocking something over. However, when Canadian Ruth Hamilton was abruptly
I'm sorry, really random. I remember that happened to me. I was in my bed laying down. It was like 2 a.m. I wake up and I'm like, kind of weird I woke up because I usually don't wake up randomly like that. And then I hear a big boom, like a big thud on my window. Like it sounded like someone hit my window with something. I was like, what the fuck? And I just stood there for a second, like, what the fuck was that? And then I look out the window and I'm like, the fuck was that? I saw nothing and I was really confused. The next day, see my dad outside doing like watering something. I'm like, what is he doing? And he's like, yeah, someone egged our house. So yeah, we got egged one time and I literally like heard them. They like hit like my window almost. So that's really scared me back then. Anyway, just wanted to say that.
Ruth Hamilton was abruptly woken up one night in October 2021. It was by something far worse. An ear-splitting boom made Ruth bolt upright from her bed. As she did so, she realized her hair was singed. Confused and disoriented, she looked around her dark room and saw a gaping hole in the ceiling. Even more worrisome, though, was what lay on her pillow. A red-hot, fist-sized rock less than an inch from where her head would have been.
Like a
as
meteor?
Unbelievable as it sounds, a meteorite from outer space had smashed straight through the roof of her house and landed on her pillow. Considering meteorites can travel a blazing fast 44 miles a second, the fact that Ruth's head wasn't turned into human jam is nothing short of a miracle.
Actually
now
insane,
she says she's keeping the space rock as a memento of her lucky escape, and to impress her grandkids with. Sure, Gran. Sounds more like a start of a supervillain origin story to me.
Huh. Okay, that one is insane though, bro. That one is crazy.
Bitter cold Bogenholm. If you've ever been skiing, you'll know what a chilly thrill it can be. Unfortunately, however, it can also be extremely dangerous, no matter how much experience you have. Swedish radiologist and avid skier Anna Bogenholm found this out the hard way back in 1999.
Okay.
Anna was skiing with a couple of her colleagues in the Narvik Mountains in Norway when suddenly she lost control. Out of nowhere, she began plummeting down the mountainside like a rag doll. Then she smashed headfirst through an 8-inch thick stream of frozen ice. Her head and torso got completely lodged, trapping her in ice-cold water with no way to breathe. And though her colleagues quickly found her, it proved impossible to pull her out. Miraculously, Anna found an air pocket beneath the ice to breathe in, but it wasn't a permanent solution. Still waist-deep in freezing cold water, she needed to be rescued, and fast. More people arrived on the scene to help, but the ice was so...
it's so thick. How did she not, like, die on impact, though? If the ice was so thick and she literally, like, hit it head first, she didn't die from the impact, the trauma? That's kind of surprising to me, anyway.
Thick, they couldn't dig
it's that
through it.
Thick, bro?
After 40 minutes, the cold finally got to Anna, and she fell unconscious. At the same time, her heart stopped beating. It took another agonizing 40 minutes until her rescuers finally managed to dig her out. And when they did, Anna had zero signs of life. She was rushed to the hospital, and a team of over 100 doctors and nurses worked in shifts for 9 hours to try and save her. When she arrived, her body temperature was an astonishing 56.7 degrees Fahrenheit, the lowest body temperature ever recorded at the time. 9 hours later, and the medical staff's incredible efforts had restarted her heart and got her temperature back to normal. And not only that, Anna survived the ordeal with no long-term effects whatsoever. It turns out, because she was in the cold water for so long, her body had time to completely cool down before her heart stopped. This meant...
So they've done this before. Like, bro, how many times have they said this, bro? They've literally, like, had the same scenario where someone freezes in the mountains, or they're skiing and they fall in a hole and they're freezing. And they've literally explained the same thing for like 4 videos back to back. I'm not even joking. So like, yeah, this is crazy that she's living from this, but like, let's bring on some new topics, you know? Like, even though this is crazy that she lived from this and there was somehow an air pocket that saved her, which that is crazy. Come on, bro. We don't need a video like this.
Heart failing, she
or a
managed to live
survival
long
story
enough
like
for the
this every
doctors
video.
to save her. My heart almost stopped just hearing about it. Niagara Fall.
I think I know what it's going to be.
I've never been. I wouldn't, however, like to jump in the water at the top of them and ride the current off the edge.
Bro,
but some people apparently
no
do
way
like
you would
that
live from a
idea.
fall like that.
Like the guy who did exactly that back in July 2019.
What?
Sometime in the early morning, a man was observed climbing over the retaining wall of the largest of the falls before diving into the pool. Unsurprisingly, he was quickly dragged towards the edge before being swept straight off and plummeting a dizzying 188 feet down the vertical cliff edge.
I don't care, how did he live? How did he fucking live from this shit?
Yikes.
There's no way,
And just to make it worse,
Niagara
Falls is known to have huge, deadly boulders lying beneath its waters. Great. Yet, somehow, the man was found on the ground below, harboring only minor injuries.
What?
Yep, you guessed it. It turns out he was actually Superman. Okay, just kidding. But he was super lucky to escape, though.
That is
You see,
insane.
at the time, Lake Erie, which flows into the falls, was experiencing the highest water levels it had ever seen. Because of this, water was rushing from the lake to the falls with much more momentum than usual. So when the man jumped in, he was swept to the edge and propelled off with greater force, overshooting the boulders below and living to tell the tale.
But that is crazy though, wow.
Bouncing Betty. The next time you're having a bad day, you'll be glad you got this far in the video. Because our story of Betty Lou Oliver is so wild, it'll make even your worst day look like a fairy tale. It all started back in July 1945. It was the final months of World War II, and 20-year-old Betty was working on the 80th floor of the Empire State Building as an elevator attendant. At the same time, the young, competent, but overly confident Captain William Smith was flying his B-25 service bomber on a return mission to New York City. Conditions were extremely foggy, but Smith ignored advice to land. Suddenly, Betty heard a tremendous boom.
Wait.
The whole world seemed to splinter.
Did he hit the Empire State Building? Why have I never heard about this? Did he actually hit the building? I've never heard about that.
Could react. She was thrown off her feet and sent flying through the air before smashing straight into a wall. Her pelvis, back, and neck all broke instantly. Captain William Smith, however, had suffered worse. Due to the fog, he'd underestimated how high he was flying and piloted his plane smack bang into the side of the building. It was a mistake that cost him his life. Reacting quickly to the carnage, first aid workers rushed to Betty and lifted her onto a stretcher before rolling her into the elevator to take her down safely. But just as they pushed her on, things got a whole lot worse. The cables, weak...
Bro, okay, no, I'm sorry. Are y'all like fucking stupid? Bro, a plane just hit the damn building, the Empire State Building. You think it's safe to use an elevator? Yo, y'all need to get shot or something. I don't know. Like, what the fuck?
The crash snapped. Betty got an almighty jolt before being sent hurtling 75 stories down the elevator shaft. That's a huge 1,000-foot drop. And remember, she was already severely injured. So how the heck could anybody get...
Why? It's because she was laying down on the ground. That's why. That's why.
Out of this one alive? Well, when the cables holding the elevator broke, all 1,000 feet of them pinged down the shaft faster than the elevator itself. They hit the bottom before Betty did and acted as a cushion, dampening her fall. Which, yeah, is absolutely insane. Though battered and broken, Betty made...
Wait, no, okay, wait, that might be the most insane shit I've ever seen. Because she was she practically got hit by an airplane, and then these dumb goofballs put her in an elevator, and then she fell 1,000 feet down, and the fucking cables were used as a fucking spring, and it saved her. No, that might be the most insane shit ever in this video. I'm not gonna lie. And it probably helped her that she was laying down, though her fucking back and her pelvis were broken. So, like, I don't know. I think if the springs weren't there, she probably would have died. But there's a thing. If y'all ever are falling in an elevator or falling from a high building and there's something under you, just lay down and hold on to it. Because that's the best way that you're going to survive, I've heard. So, yeah. Wow.
An incredible recovery.
But she was, like, she wasn't laying on the ground fully, though. Right? They had, like, a bed that she was on or something.
Full health like a stretcher? In just 8 months. Wow, she really bounced back from
That's crazy as flip, bro.
Fearsome flooding. Horror films are scary, sure, but one of the scariest things a human can endure is the force of nature. The citizens of Peru saw just how terrifying that could be back in March 2017, when the country was hit by the worst floods it had seen in decades. After floodwaters blocked the way of one man, he decided to risk driving through them anyway.
Oh my god. Yo, so, like, you should have drowned that day. I'm sorry, man. Like, there are some people in this world that, like, should have consequences for their action. What the fuck are you doing? Are you fucking stupid? You're lucky you fucking survived, bro. What are we doing? Are you this dumb? Like, where did you need to go, bro? Where did you need to go?
Not a good idea. By sheer luck, he escaped without any serious injury.
Yeah, you're lucky the car landed on that.
I can't say the same for his car.
Damn rock. No, I think that car can still be driven, though. Just get it out.
Absolute carnage.
Carnage?
No question.
Get it? Carnage? You gotta stop with these fucking jokes, bro. These are actually the worst jokes I've ever fucking heard.
Think back to the beginning of this video, and you should remember the woman who narrowly avoided being hit by a meteorite. That's crazy, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of what meteorites do. They fall from the sky. Pickup trucks, however, generally don't, which is why one resident of KwaMakuta, South Africa, got a big surprise when they were rudely awoken by one smashing through their ceiling. Unbelievably, neither truck driver nor homeowner were injured.
Wait, is there like tornadoes there or something?
Which is crazy enough in itself.
So like
but considering pickup trucks isn't a type of weather, this story is as crazy as they come.
It must have been a mountain.
When asked how it happened, the truck driver simply said he drove over a ramp of some sort. And that's it.
Yeah,
right.
Bro.
Witnesses say the car went flying off the road before coming down hard on the house. But I'm failing to see how that's even possible.
Yeah, no,
it didn't just land vertically. It landed backside first. Do you have any ideas how this could have happened? If so, let me know down in the comments.
Yeah, bro, there's no way, bro. What? So that's just a fucking mystery. He hit a ramp bump and it flung your car that hard.
When I was a kid, I got lost in the local grocery store and ended up crying about it for days. So if I'd ended up in a life or death situation, I'm sure it would have been game over for me. But young AJ Elfalak is obviously made of sterner stuff. Back in the fall of 2021, the 3-year-old Australian boy sparked panic when his parents realized he'd gone missing from their New South Wales home. A huge search operation was called into action, but after 3 days, hope was beginning to run out. Then, incredibly, the boy was found just half a mile from his house, alive and drinking water from a local creek.
What?
He wasn't just alive, though. He seemed relaxed and content in his predicament. AJ has autism, and researchers reckon it's what helped him survive his 3-day ordeal. Apparently, autistic children are often less aware of danger than others, and enjoy exploring more too. They're also more likely to be less sensitive to pain. This would certainly have been helpful, considering the Australian bush is known
they feel less pain? Is that what he just said?
They're also more likely to be less sensitive to pain.
Oh, less sensitive. Okay, that makes more sense.
Would certainly have been helpful, considering the Australian bush is known for its nasty, biting bugs and harsh drops in temperature. So rather than panicking like most of us would, young AJ kept his cool and just got on with it until he was found. What a little legend.
That is crazy.
It's raining men. You could argue that everybody who came out of World War II alive was ludicrously lucky. But Alan McGee, a U.S. ball turret gunner, really pushed his luck to the limits. McGee was in the turret.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's being a turret on a plane like that is low-key fucking badass, bro. That is so fucking sick. I don't think this is a thing anymore. A gunner on a ship like that, or a plane like that.
17 bomber flying over German-occupied France
that's
in
just
1943.
Sick, like, that's what you do.
When suddenly the plane was hit by anti-aircraft
fire. Until that happens, right? But look, besides all the death that could happen, okay, it's pretty kind of cool job.
Wasting no time, he climbed out of the turret and into the main body of the plane to grab his parachute. But his heart quickly sinking, he realized it'd been torn to shreds. Then the plane came under even more fire, blowing a whole section of the right wing off. Chaos erupted and the plane was flung into a deadly downward spin. Before McGee could do anything, he passed out from lack of oxygen. But just as the B-17 was about to explode, the force of its spinning descent sent him shooting out of the side. The unconscious McGee soared through the air, before plummeting over 4 miles down to his certain doom.
Even if there was water, he's dead. Tell me how he lives from this. Does he land on an ant pile? We'll go see.
Only it wasn't to his doom. Instead of colliding straight into the ground, the ball turret gunner smashed through the glass roof of Saint Nazaire Railroad Station. And miraculously, it was that saved him. Despite 28 shrapnel wounds, several broken bones, and severe damage to much of his body, McGee survived.
What?
The glass had broken his fall just enough to save him from
The glass broke his fall. Dog, that makes no fucking sense. How does glass break your fall? See, I find that glass kind of like water where, yeah, if you hit fucking water, you go through the water, but it's still hard and solid.
After being taken as a prisoner of war, he was given medical treatment and stayed in fascist-occupied France until the war's end.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Is this one crazier than the ant pile one? The ant pile one? Because you gotta think about it. She lived because the ants were biting her. That is insane that she even landed on an ant pile. But this is low-key maybe even more crazy because he somehow lived from a 4-mile drop and he was a prisoner of war, bro. In World War II. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
And he ended up living to the grand old age of 84.
Wow.
Boy, what a tale to tell the grandkids.
Dude,
tornado terror.
Well, he doesn't remember it. He probably just remembers the plane falling, and then he remembers waking up in the hospital because he literally passed out, hit the ground, and probably wasn't awake when he hit the ground. So,
there are a few things I look for when trying to find a new place to live. A nice house, friendly neighborhood, and a general lack of deadly tornadoes. But if you live in Texas, it's tough to find somewhere that's got all 3 of these. Back in March 2022, 16-year-old Riley Leon found this out the hard way. The teenager was driving back from a job interview in Elgin, Texas, where he suddenly felt the back of his pickup truck jolt upwards. Before he could even react, the rest of the car followed, and Riley was lifted completely off the ground.
Picked up by a tornado.
Holding onto the steering wheel for dear life, he braced as the entire vehicle was flipped in the air and came crashing back down to the ground on its side. But the nightmare wasn't over yet. As Riley continued to grip the wheel, the truck began spinning around on its axis, like some kind of messed up merry-go-round. After a few seconds of this disorienting danger ride, the truck was lifted back up off the ground and remarkably landed on all 4 wheels again. Wasting no time, Riley hit the gas and accelerated away from the tornado and back to safety. Despite needing medical care, I'm glad to say he's doing okay.
Wait, that's actually
that truck is in desperate need of a new paint job.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought it would look worse. Like that, I mean, that obviously does look bad still, but like, bro, you got picked up by a tornado, fucking landed on the ground, spun around, and then it picked you up again, and it fucking crashed your fucking shit on the wheels though. But
fridge fright. I don't know about you, but I'm prone to getting claustrophobic if I'm in a small, enclosed space. Which is why I'd probably be a goner if I'd been in the same position as one 11-year-old Filipino boy was back in April 2022. The Philippines is prone to all kinds of extreme weather, and that month a huge tropical storm was wreaking havoc across the country. The boy, called CJ, was at home sheltering from the storm with his family when the unthinkable happened. A colossal mudslide careened straight into the side of his house, smashing through it and devastating the building. By sheer luck, CJ wasn't hit by the initial blast, and used his quick thinking to run into the kitchen and, believe it or not, climb inside the fridge.
Wait, that's
By knocking
smart.
all the food out, clambering in, and shutting the door behind
Wait,
him,
that's so
CJ
smart.
managed to secure himself protection from the raging storm.
Damn.
But his ordeal wasn't over.
Oh
From
my
his
gosh.
tiny, pitch-black chamber, he could hear a hurricane laying waste to everything outside.
Fucking
And it carried on for hours,
Indiana Jones
sending the
type
fridge
shit.
flying and breaking CJ's
Yeah.
leg. But the boy didn't move, and ended up hunched inside for a total of 20 hours before the storm finally died down. So, by the time a rescue team eventually arrived on the scene, you can bet the poor kid was ecstatic at being taken out of his self-imposed
Yeah,
prison.
he's definitely not smiling, bro. Okay, let's not do this anymore, bro.
Despite having
Who's
been in a
animating
fridge,
these, bro?
I'm sure he was anything but chilled out.
Yo, I swear to God. I will find your studio and fucking assault you, bro. Stop making these jokes, dude. That is an insane story, though. Because I'm not gonna lie, if I was in his situation, I probably wouldn't even think about running into the fridge or putting myself in the fridge. Or first off, I couldn't do that. I couldn't put myself in the fridge. Well, I could maybe fucking move everything, but you know, I wouldn't think about that. I would try to run. But the fact that he thought about that, dude, alright.
Double whammy. It's hard to imagine anyone more down on their luck than the homeless. But even the unluckiest people are sometimes thrown a bone or two, like Robert, a homeless man from Denver who was riding his bicycle across the road in the fall of 2008. Out of nowhere, a reckless driver crashed straight into him, knocking him to the ground. But instead of stopping to check if he was okay, they drove right off again.
Oh, that guy's a bitch. I hope he gets hit by a car one day too. Fucking bitch.
Jerk.
What a
In
loser.
Robert's first stroke of luck, though, a passerby was kind enough to call an ambulance for him. And upon arriving at the hospital, it was found he only had minor injuries. Now, getting hit by a car and coming out of it with just a scrape is pretty lucky. However,
true, yeah.
Robert obviously wasn't happy to
Bro,
settle.
I feel like the dude that hit him wanted to hit him, bro.
Just that. After spending a few hours in the hospital and getting released early in the morning, he got back on his bike and started cycling again until he came to a railway bridge.
Wait, you got back on your bike after you get a new bike? Was your bike destroyed? I guess not. Yeah.
In the distance,
He must have not gotten hit that hard though.
Could see the lights of a train approaching. But hey, surely he couldn't be hit again, right?
Wait.
Judging himself to have enough time to cross, Robert got off his bike and made a run across the tracks, though apparently he judged wrong.
Wait.
Before he could get to the other side,
Wait, they've literally talked about this fucking story before in a prior video, bro. What the fuck's going on? Now we're recycling fucking shit that's happened in prior videos? What are we fucking doing? Come on, bruh. See, alright.
train rammed into his backside and he was flung
Okay, wait, it hit him and he lived? That's crazy. They are telling it differently though.
first off the bridge.
But he got hit by a train? Bro, I feel like if you got hit by a train, you just go instantly down on the tracks and just run you over. Not fling you into the water. That's kind of insane.
Oh boy. By some miracle, it was
in the other video, they said he was riding his bike and like the train hit his bike and he fell off, which made more sense than if you got hit by the fucking train. So now I'm thinking maybe it's a different guy? I don't know.
10-foot drop into the creek below, and Robert again managed to avoid serious injury. He got lucky that time, but there's a lesson somewhere here about not trying to cross railway bridges while a train is careening towards you.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought it?
Okay, yeah.
Stuck in the...
I'm gonna be honest. I think that was they reused that story, which is whack as fuck. Why the fuck are you reusing stories? I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you put a new fucking color of paint on it. It's the same shit. What are we doing? It's just a little weird to me, bro, but alright.
Whether you drive or not, the idea of being involved in a car crash is terrifying for pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
Some crashes are worse than others, though, like the insane accident Caleb Whitby was involved in. One foggy night in January 2015, Caleb was driving down the Oregon interstate when the semi-truck in front of him spun out of control and jackknifed. Caleb, unable to slow down in time...
Dude! No, this is also reusing the same shit. So, it's just the rest of this video being reused. What the fuck are we doing? Look, bro, if y'all are new to the series, okay, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna watch this. I'm gonna skip this. If y'all wanna watch my reaction to this story, okay, I don't know what video it is, forgive me, but it is in this series that I've reacted to. So, if you want to watch all the videos, you'll find it at some point. Hell, I might even put it in the description what video it is so you can see what my reaction to this clip. I'm just like, this is fucking stupid, they're reusing shit. What the fuck are we doing? Okay, maybe, is there some new clips in here or is it just fucking reusing shit now? Okay, I don't know.
You might have heard of a certain infamous cruise ship called the Titanic. You probably haven't heard of one of its bravest passengers, though, Dick Williams. Dick was an American tennis player.
I'm sorry, bro. Even back then, why are you naming your child Dick? Hey, Dick! That sounds horrible. That might be one of the worst names of all time.
And when he boarded the doomed vessel in April 1912 with his father Charles, they had no idea what was about to befall them. When the ship hit the iceberg, both Dick and his dad stayed aboard as long as possible, helping everyone they could get to safety. Dick even freed a trapped passenger from their cabin by breaking down the door. Then, just before the ship went completely under, father and son both leapt off into the water. Heartbreakingly, Charles didn't make it.
No!
A huge funnel from the ship fell down on him as he jumped. Dick, however, managed to swim to a lifeboat and climbed aboard with some other survivors. But once in, he found himself knee-deep in ice-cold water, with nothing to throw it out with. Using their bare hands would have been incredibly painful, and so, for hours, Dick and the other survivors sat shaking in the freezing water. Eventually, they were rescued, but the terrible cold had left Dick with severe frostbite in both his legs. The doctors were insistent that they needed to—
Come on, bro. How big were those boats? You could have maybe put your foot even over the boat and held your foot like this over the boat so your feet wouldn't freeze. You know, I wasn't fucking there, so I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Amputated. But Dick wasn't just going to lie down and let that happen. Okay. Oh no. He refused the operation and instead forced himself to stand up every 2 hours and walk around to keep circulation in his legs, which would have been painful as all hell. Yeah. Astonishingly, it worked. Dick made a full recovery and went on to forge a successful tennis career, winning a gold medal in the 1921 Olympics. And he also fought in the First World War, earning multiple service medals for his achievements. Yeah, Dick didn't just survive the impossible, he thrived off it.
That was fire. That was a good story.
Closest calls. I had a close call the other day when I thought I'd accidentally followed through on a particularly dicey fart. Luckily, I hadn't. Some people, however, have had decidedly dicier close calls. Like this guy who was changing a sprinkler in his front garden when out of nowhere, this happened.
Oh! Oh! Oh,
Thankfully,
shit.
the tree landed in a way that left the man totally unharmed.
Oh my
gosh. That's about as close as they come. Though crazy. This Wisconsin man certainly gave a good go at cutting it even closer.
A
few more seconds, and he'd have been—
Oh, it was from that tree right there. Yeah, that makes sense. Wow.
Man, I bet he was relieved.
That's reaction time, brother. God, I mean, what was he doing though? Like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I was like, dude, it's so windy. Why are you going outside? Bro, like, it's so windy. It could be very dangerous to step out because something like this could happen. But like, I'm not gonna lie. It's been really windy and rainy here in Oregon. And I've done the same thing. Though Wisconsin, do they have problems with really high winds and trees breaking? I don't think so. So sometimes, if it's really windy and rainy, sometimes I'm like, hey, I want to experience that for 2 seconds. So I step outside. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. And then go back inside. So I can't say this guy's dumb because I would low-key maybe do the same thing. Holy shit.
A few more seconds, and he'd have been right under that tree as it fell. Man, I bet he was
and the electrical wires right there too
to get away from that one.
Jeez.
But life-threatening near misses aren't all tree-related. Take this handyman who was busy grinding something when the steel grinding wheel snapped, flew off, and struck him right in the visor.
I've seen that.
An inch more, and that would have gone straight into his eye.
Oh my god!
Thank God for visors.
Yeah, that's what.
At least he wasn't stranded at the top of a burning building, though. Whoa! This unlucky roofer in Rodevor, Denmark, found himself trapped when a blaze started in the 6-story skyscraper and was slowly burning its way up. Amazingly, a quick-thinking crane driver maneuvered his hook to the roof of the tower so that the guy could jump onto it and be lowered to safety. Talk about hanging on for dear life.
That is insane.
And finally, what do you reckon this is?
No, wait, let's look. So it came... Wait. It didn't come from the boat. The anchor picked something up out of the water. I don't know why this would... Was it another anchor it picked up? And then... Now this anchor is holding on to the bottom of the boat, and it could maybe flip the boat over. I don't know if it could do that or not. I don't know if that sounds stupid or not, but or maybe even make a hole through the boat because it's metal on metal, and that thing's probably really strong if it goes up, so it shreds the boat. That's just a theory. I don't know. Let's see what this is.
It's a British Royal Navy ship loaded with 1,100 tons of combustible fuel, and that's its anchor. lodged firmly into an old, unexploded torpedo.
How did it not fucking explode, bro? What the fuck? Oh, shit. That is actually insane. And the boat, even if the boat wasn't carrying anything and it reached up that high, that's scary, right? It could have still fucked up the boat if there's no explosion. It still could have fucked up the boat if there wasn't explosives on the boat, because that torpedo would have exploded the boat and it still would have sank. I'm sorry, I'm over-explaining.
When the ship's crew pulled the anchor up ready to set sail, they realized they'd inadvertently dropped it onto the torpedo, which had been laying at the bottom of the ocean since the 1980s whilst docking.
Wow.
Considering even old torpedoes can still explode, it's insanely lucky that everyone on board escaped in one piece.
Facts.
Well, that's just about all I've got time for.
I wonder what they did, like, when they figured that out. Like, first off, you took a picture? Well, I guess what would you do? Would you unhook it? You probably wouldn't want to do that. Or would you? No, they had to unhook it. They probably just let it sink, let it go back to the bottom of the water. Because, bro, they're not going to try to pick it up. The fuck? I don't know what they did, honestly. I don't know what they did. But anyway, that was a good video. I do feel like, though, now, and I've said this before in other videos, like, because there's so many parts now, I feel like they're running out of stories to tell, and now they're telling they're telling like just people that survived tree encounters, which is still like with videos, that's still crazy, and I don't mind those. But like the other ones, like the World War, like this guy, crazy that he lived, or the elevator girl that got practically hit by that airplane in the Empire State Building, that was a great story. Or the meteor, good lord, that one was crazy too. But like, now we're reusing bullshit. Now we're reusing 2 stories that were in past videos. What are we doing, man? Like, I would rather you put in smaller stories like the tree one and just random stories than this. You don't have to tell big, gigantic stories all the time. You don't have to do that. Because I found the tree ones entertaining, you know? And especially, bro, don't reuse shit, bro. That's just me. It kind of is like, it's just wasting my time. What are we doing here, you know? I would rather, or just make the video shorter. It doesn't have to be 20 minutes. But obviously, like, almost every video has been 20 minutes. So that's the goal they try to hit every time, which I get. But like, let's not reuse shit. And now I'm scared that the other 4 videos are gonna be reused. So anyway, just a little tangent I went on right there. When you survive overwhelming odds like that, there is no point in buying a lottery ticket because you've just used up a lifetime supply of luck. Nah, I don't believe that, bro. Because again, in these past videos, you've seen people survive crazy scenarios and they went out and bought a lottery ticket and they fucking win hella money, right? So it's like, man, just buy a lottery ticket if you've survived some crazy ish. I can't talk today, man. But yeah, man, I don't believe that. My mom got cancer and survived, and I'm very happy. Hey, man, congrats for you, bro, or congratulations to your mother. That's awesome. Respect for the crane operator who saved that dude's life. Yeah, dude, that was sick. See, like little stories like that, I would rather than you reusing shit, right? Like I literally just said. But anyway, yeah, I love that. Anyway though, y'all, that's today's video, and I said this in every video. If y'all have any crazy stories that you have lived through and survived, let us know down in the comments below. I'd love to read them. But anyway, if y'all like today's video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You're doing every day. Love y'all, and peace.
Every time I call you, babe, you never fucking answer. And I just won't leave a voicemail, cause I'm just so fucking awkward, babe.